doing your lesson number 3, and up to now we have completed the qualities of wool by which we can judge how the wool is good and what are the quality by which we can have its more uses. Like wool length, if we start judging the quality of wool, then it is judged by wool length, diameter, elasticity, strength, durability, effectiveness as an insulator, and its ability to take up coloring dye. So all these we have discussed earlier also. Now we will discuss today page number 34, and track your process we have to discuss. So we have to answer in one words. How we can answer it? Angora wool is obtained from this animal. So which animal? Angora rabbit. Then the process of removing any stain, damage and inferior wool from the fleece, that is called sorting. SORTING. Then the process of cleaning sheared skin, that is called scoring. SCOURING. Then D part, wool yielding animal found in Tibet. So that wool yielding animal which is found in Tibet, that is yak. Okay, one more animal is found in Tibet that you can write here. Can you suggest which more animal is found in Tibet? Any guesses? In Tibet you are getting this Kashmira goat also. Kashmira goat is also found in the China and Tibet. Okay, yak and Kashmira goat will be your answer. Now let us discuss our next animal fiber, that is silk. You must have heard about the silk. Your mother must be wearing silk sari at the occasion of marriage, etc. Isn't it? So this silkworm, a silk animal fiber, is obtained from silkworm. The cocoons of silkworms are used to produce silk. Okay, a large number of these cocoons are unwound carefully to make long threads, and these threads are spun together, make them thicker, and then woven to make silk. And do you know that for this we used to rear this silkworm? So raising silkworm for the production of raw silk is called sericulture. SERICULTURE. Sericulture means rearing or raising this silkworm for the production of silk. Okay, and if we discuss the history of silk, do you know that the silk is the valuable fabric that indicates or symbolize the wealth and prosperity? The person in early days, the person who is having more money, it is the status symbol for that. The person who is wearing silk, it indicate that he belongs to a high status. Okay, so early days we used to symbolize our wealth and prosperity with silk, isn't it? And the use of silk was reserved only for kings only and monarchs. Okay, so the Roman sold silk for this weight in gold. Do you know? Then if you compare the gold and silk, then the gold is compared to silk. Gold, the silk is much more valuable and it is comparable to gold. Okay, the Chinese has been using silk from 27th century, and the China was the first who got the credit of production of this silk. Okay, if we see the timeline, that early China began to produce silk, and it was started in Yellow River basins. Then if we talk about that 200 BC, silk was again with the Silk Route. It came to eastern part of the Roman Empire. Then in 6th century, the farming of silkworm was established in Europe. And in 7th, the movement of silk along with Silk Route was on the peak. Means at 7th, so during 7th century, the silk rearing was at the peak. Then in 11th century, sericulture spread in Western Europe. After that, it went to 12th, 15th century. Then Italy, France also start dealing with silk. And present day, nowadays means China remain the world leading producer of silk. Means we can say that the Chinese realized the value of beautiful material they were producing and kept it secret safe for rest of the world for many more than 30 century. Means they have formed, but they don't want to disclose this thing of silk. Only they want to export the silk, and they want to make it secret that the whole world should not know. And now you will be wonder to know that this silk is commonly obtained from silkworm. Okay. Up nowadays, this our scientists are doing research on forming the silk with the help of spider also. We have spider silk also, which is used and which is lightweight in use. And if we discuss about the life cycle of silk moth, then silk moth is a white insect. Okay. And how its life cycle begin? It have different stages. First of all, egg, then larva, then pupa, and then silk moth. Okay. And after that there will be processing of silk. So let us discuss it one by one. First of all, the egg. Egg is the first stage of silkworm life cycle. The female moth lays their egg during summer and the egg hatch in spring. Okay. Then larva, the egg hatch into the larva, or we can say caterpillar, which feed on mulberry leaves. Okay. And this stage lasts for 27 days, and during this time the larvae shed their silk 4 times. The process of shedding the skin is known as molting. Moulting. And then pupa stage came. The caterpillar spins fine silk filament around it layers to form cocoon, and the silkworm take 3 to 7 days to prepare the cocoon. And this silk thread are obtained from the cocoon only. The color of cocoon can range from white to golden yellow. Then silk moth. The pupa changes into moth, which comes out of the cocoon, and the female adults lay egg and the cycle continue. So you can see the life cycle of silk moth also. Earlier it was the egg, you can see, then it changes to larva, then pupa, and pupa to again silk moth. The big we can say silkworm is formed. So in our next video we are going to discuss processing of silk. So I think till now you know how the journey of silk is there, how it become most famous among the India and all over the world, and who was the first one to form this silk. It was Chinese who did, and they started sericulture first in the whole world. So till then, thank you, have a nice day.